Hi everyone, Eva here. Happy Friday. Hope you all had a wonderful week and that you have a great weekend planned, and that those of you who live in the Greater Toronto area, I hope you're all enjoying this fantastic weather, given that just a couple weeks ago we had an ice storm around here. So this is finally spring has arrived. So I hope you are all doing well. Because it's Friday, I'm going to be answering one mom's question in the My Sleeping Baby Facebook community, also known as our Friday Focus question. So today's question is from a mom named Hadass, and her question is, I started a padding method with my 7-month-old, and it seems to be working better than the Sleep Lady Shuffle. Do you ever suggest such a method? So Hadass, I'm assuming that you're referring to shush pat, where basically that involves you putting the baby down awake in the crib and then patting the baby either all the way to sleep or halfway to sleep. So the answer to your question, do I ever suggest this? Possibly, potentially. It really depends on the family's goals, and it depends on your comfort level, and it depends on the baby's temperament. You see, here's the thing. Patting a baby, let me actually just take a step back here. So what is the purpose of sleep training? The purpose of sleep training is to teach a baby or child of any age how to fall asleep completely 100% independently. So in other words, the end goal must be for you to be able to put the child in their sleep space, wide awake after doing your bedtime routine, say goodnight, and leave the room, and have them do all the work falling asleep on their own. The reason why it's absolutely essential for this to be your end goal is because if a baby or a child needs any amount of help to be able to fall asleep, then there's nothing stopping them from waking up throughout the night, needing that same kind of help to fall back to sleep. So Hadass, to answer your question head on, do I ever recommend this as a method? So shush pat can sometimes be used as kind of like a middle ground to help with families who have a baby or a young toddler, for example, who, let's say, need to be rocked all the way to sleep, or rocked until very drowsy, or they need to nurse, or they need a bottle to fall asleep. And so this approach can help wean the child off of being rocked or fed to sleep and encourage them to be a little bit more independent falling asleep. So if it's a good fit for your child, then that's fantastic. Here's the thing though, is that patting a baby to sleep is still a sleep crutch. Technically, a sleep crutch is a sleep crutch is a sleep crutch. And so it's no different than nursing a baby to sleep or rocking a baby to sleep. It involves a little bit more independence on the baby's end. So it's fantastic in that you're working towards your end goal, but it shouldn't be the end goal in and of itself. Like if you have managed to go from rocking her all the way to sleep to putting her in the crib wide awake and patting her all the way to sleep, that's fantastic. That's really huge progress, and you should totally give yourself a pat on the back for that. But what you ultimately want to be doing is working towards not helping her fall asleep, or him. I'm not sure if it's a boy or a girl. But you definitely want to be working towards not providing any help for your baby to fall asleep. So clearly your baby is a baby that is calmed by being patted, because I should preface this that this method does not work at all. I would say maybe half the time, because a lot of babies, they don't like being patted. It's not calming towards them. It's like all or nothing. Either you rock me all the way to sleep or I'm going to be upset. And so if you're going to get tons and tons of crying, whether you're patting or not crying, or patting or not patting, then might as well move on to something a little bit more direct that'll get you results quicker, because patting a baby who doesn't like being patted can just make matters worse. But clearly you have a baby that does like being patted, that is calmed by this. So one thing that you may want to try doing is work towards decreasing the patting over time, and then perhaps work towards the Sleep Lady Shuffle, where you can kind of move further and further away and really hone in on your little one's independence. So do I ever suggest this? As I said, sometimes it really just depends on, again, the baby's temperament. Is the baby going to be calmed by this, or is it just going to make matters worse? Your comfort level, and of course your goals, because a more gentle, minimal cry approach is going to take longer than moving to a method like the sleep lady shuffle. So it also just depends on how tired you are. Now, it goes without saying that no amount of sleep training of any kind, whether it's the most gentle to the most cold turkey, is going to work if the proper sleep foundations are not in place. So this means that for any kind of sleep training to work, you got to make sure that your little one's sleep environment is perfect, that your little one's on an age appropriate, biologically appropriate schedule with properly timed naps, a total amount of daytime sleep that will avoid overtiredness, that daytime nutrition is optimal, that the routines in place are optimal. Otherwise, there's a very good chance that it may not work. But it sounds like you're off on the right foot. So I would say continue and just keep in mind the tidbits of advice that I'd given you before. So I hope this was helpful. And for those of you who may be interested in pursuing or exploring some no cry or minimal cry sleep training approaches, I should tell you that in my Sleep Bible program, I have a whole section on no cry sleep training. So there are a huge array of approaches and methods that you can use if you're looking to make big changes to your little one's sleep, but a traditional sleep training method just isn't sitting well with you. There are other approaches that you can use, and I guide you through that in my program. So for those of you that might be interested, definitely check it out. So I hope you guys all have a wonderful weekend and that this was helpful. Take care. Have a good day.